Okay, so how can women be empowered on a natural health journey? I truly believe that women really need to prioritize their self-care. Because when they do that, they're showing themselves self-love. And by doing that, that's just having a huge ripple effect on everybody that they encounter in their life, right? So by adopting the 8 pillars of health that I have come to realize is the most important thing that can be very helpful to helping women be feel empowered in, when they're having proper nutrition and hydration and having really healthy relationships, and they are exercising and sleeping well and managing their stress, taking the right supplements. All those things really help to empower women to be the most strongest, resilient women that they can really be. So that would be one suggestion. And I would like to pass it on now to Nancy.
Well, thanks, ladies. Me here in the process of also resetting myself in recuperating health situation with breaking a leg. Uh, but I'm finding is I'm relearning myself, even though I work with women and trying to support them with their whole health and everything. But wow, we have so many calls on our for our attention, our focus. We women are the ones that keep it together, right? And so it's like, gal helping me, she's got a 2-year old. The child is just like, she wants her attention all the time. So like it's challenging to give yourself that priority of healthcare. But of course, when you're on an airplane, what do they tell you, right? When they're describing about the emergency procedures, they always say, you put your mask on first, and then you put it on your children or the people that are with you, right? Because if you don't survive, right, and as we know, it isn't just about, I mean, eating and food is fundamental, and nutrition and giving your body the things you need. But what are the other nourishments that you need? Like, how are you feeding your mind? What are you putting, what are you allowing to come and to influence you? It's all connected. And so things like what Terry's talking about with the 8 pillars of health, which sunshine and these neglected things that we need, it's like just downtime on do not do list, a do not list, or whatever. We've got to, yeah. And I think we're going to get this opportunity now with all the things that are going on now. It's a challenging time, and we're going to be given the opportunity to make those choices. I think we're going to have to just to, keep our head above the water. But remember, we're the ones that are holding it together. We are the hope. And that connection with ourselves and each other is like so critically important. So take care. Of course, we know the to remember that the secret ingredient is always love. Yeah. Oh, so let's see. Who else? Hey, Mary, do you want to go next?
Thanks, Nancy. Hello, everybody. Yes, women, to be empowered, they need to have a good, strong voice. And a couple of examples that I've experienced in my life, one of my coworkers, she was overweight, and when she went to the doctor, they always told her she needed to lose weight, and she was sure that something was happening in her body. And eventually, after a very long time, they found a growth in her stomach, and they had to deal with that. And my niece has endometriosis, and her mother had it as well, and her mother passed away prematurely. So she had to find her voice to be able to advocate for herself, and now she advocates for others because she's been able to learn a lot. But one way of finding your voice I found was joining Toastmasters. I joined 16 years ago. I help other people now. It's a lot of fun helping others. But my club spent pretty much 3 years encouraging me to speak up. And it wasn't until I was talking about vegetables, one of my friends told me, and that's when you got a lot stronger. And so it really helped me to vocalize what I was feeling inside. And I grew up really introverted. My parents didn't socialize very much, so I didn't know how to put myself out there and advocate for myself in any place, you know, whether you're in the store, at school, at work, we have to advocate for ourselves. So one way for empowering yourself, if you're feeling very introverted or quiet and not noticed, join a Toastmasters club. And you'll meet wonderful people because the people are all working on themselves. They're very proactive type of people that are attracted to the organization. And I've made wonderful friends there. And it also gives you growth opportunities because once you find your voice, then you can help other people that come in and say, well, I'm shy, I'm quiet, I want to do this and this, but I don't feel confident. So I really encourage people to seek out Toastmasters or some kind of organization that's similar to help find your voice. And once you're advocating for yourself, you'll be able to support other people and encourage them to advocate for themselves. And yeah, that's my message. Next, I'll go to Maggie. Oh, Zelda's supposed to go next. Sorry.
Oh.
I didn't see the chat.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, I am in complete agreement. The more that women just connect with their voice, with their bodies, with their inner spirit, and start to embrace that. And that can be difficult, you know, because especially as women, you know I grew up, well, my father's African. I didn't grow up in Africa, I was born there, but there's definitely a demarcation between the women's roles and the men's roles. And you know, women are supposed to do certain things, and I was always rebellious. I rebelled against that. But it's interesting that even in that rebellion, there was a sense of guilt, you know, for not being a homemaker, for not loving to. I know we're talking about natural foods, cooking. I mean, I do cook, but it's I don't love it. Let me just say that. And so I think for women to acknowledge maybe that there are certain roles that may feel uncomfortable or that they may not enjoy, and getting support. I think it's easier nowadays to find support from other women who maybe took a different route, who maybe made different choices, especially going into, for me, you know, going into medicine, becoming a doctor. I was the first one in my family. My parents were proud of that, but it's interesting. I got married late in life, you know, and I sometimes feel that pull like, oh, what if, you know, so I think just acknowledging that there are a lot of pressures on women to be a certain way, to do certain things. And it's challenging, but it also presents an opportunity to really start to look at those things that really matter the most to you. And then also then to recognize all the young women, little girls maybe, that are looking up to you and are looking to you as an example and as a role model. the more that you can embrace that and embody that, then that spirit will naturally radiate from you. So I know, like what you were saying, Mary, about being shy. Hey, been there. But your spirit, your presence speaks even before you open your mouth. And I too was in Toastmasters and I loved it very much. Um, so yeah, definitely. As a coach, I work on empowering women and, doing those non-traditional things. I didn't necessarily want it, but I did create it, and just owning that. And so also recognizing that and recognizing the choices that we do make and recognizing that that we can empower ourselves just by being who we are and allowing that to speak for us. So that's what I wanted to offer. So next is Maggie.
Thank you so much, Zelda, everybody here. I'm so pleased to be here, taking into account that today we're celebrating the International Women's Day and connecting together from our heart in collaboration, communication, and commitment to explore all the amazing, beautiful ways that each of us can embark on our personal and unique journey to this idea of empowerment and health. So I'm Margarita Gruskin, and part of my story is to understand how important it is to live our authentic self as we go into inquire, what does health look like for me? Most of my life, I've actually not lived authentically, meaning I denied my own culture. As 100% Mexican, I did not live my Latina-esque life until recently. And it wasn't until I had a summer of sickness where I really realized the true value and worth of health. So by remembering the oneness in life, to me, the share I'd love to focus on right now is, in order for us to really truly guide women to a sense of empowerment, we must start within. And through my coaching and working with women in Ayurveda and bringing in the two AIs, the ancient intelligence from the world's wisdom traditions, and now embracing fully the emergence of artificial intelligence as one of the newest tools that we can bring into our tool bag, we can better equip women, everyone around the world, to really look within and begin with the number one question of understanding self. When we can understand self and grow in our ability to have empathy for self, fully embrace ourselves for whom we are without denying, repressing any aspect of us, and being able to step into that gap that Viktor Frankl loves to remind us that in that gap is that space of how we're showing up, the thoughts, the emotions, the actions that we're taking right now. Are they serving us, or are they serving to keep us in this state of stuckness or in this pathway to disease? Or can we take that action, which then fuels our courage and faith to become that person we envision to be, whether that's healthier of body, more stable and compassionate in mind, or if we're really here to show up as our best self. And as Zelda was just saying, just our presence, we can radiate that which is within us. So how do we work with, the people that we're here to serve? So we remind ourselves that our body already knows. We are here as human beings. And so the secret is to understand the impulse to evolve is within our body to return to this beautiful state of homeostasis, but it needs us to step in and make those wiser, healthier, more heart-centered choices that will give our minds and body the elements that it needs to really begin to heal itself. And so I love the idea of, so my practical share is, what can we do today? Whether it's taking just 10 seconds to take a breath and pause from the craziness of the external distracted modes of living, and to just give ourselves that spaciousness that luxury of being fully present. And so this is a form of like an interoceptive tool. How do we wind back inward to the jewels of our soul? And so diving into more of this psycho-spiritual lens, we can then create sort of a soul compass for each of us to be reminded every day of that North Star of who we are becoming, which is far more important than who we are in this temporary state of being. So thank you, my friend. I think I'll go ahead and stop my share there. And I would love to pass it on to Maricel.
Thank you, Maggie. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, Maggie, you said it all. It's like, as you were saying things, I'm like, yeah, yeah. I was like, yeah, you said it perfectly. I love that. And I resonate with everything. My observation is like when I start working with people, with women, I find that they don't love themselves enough, right? And it's like I'm trying to tell them, okay, everything will be fine if you just fall in love with yourself again. Just do that and everything will be fine, right? But I can't. It's a self journey, it's a self discovery, right? So as a coach, we show things, we share tools, we kind of inspire women. But what I see, the common denominator in many struggles that women have, it could be in their organic, like, oh, it's so hard to lose weight. Oh, it's so hard to have a relationship, or it's so hard to be a parent. It's so hard to perform at work, and so on and so on. So in all the different roles that we as women have, I think that the lack of enough unconditional love for ourselves is what triggers and what actually sabotage our achievements in all many areas that we have. So to me, it starts there, cultivating that self-love, meaning remembering our essence, remember who we are. You talk about authenticity, and others also talk about our essence, remembering who we really are, actually awakening our own voice, right? So going back into that root and identifying who you really are, it's a process. It's not going to happen by definition overnight or just because you have the insight. It's a process that requires effort because we have to go against the inertia of our programming, our society, our family of origin, and all of other stuff that impose ways of thinking, ways of believing. So we have to develop a sort of machine that will go against those things to reprogram our mindset and start again from loving ourselves and then move on. And my practical tip, if to say it in a word, my way, the way I discovered that empowerment, self-empowerment, there's an exercise in positive intelligence that is when you connect with your wiser elder self, which is the person that you will be at the end of your life. You are in perfect health, physically, emotionally, mentally, right? And then you basically have a conversation with that future self. And when I did mine, my wiser elder self gave me a little box. And when I opened the box, I found this little heart. You can see it's pink. It's a real stone. One of my clients brought me this from Brazil. She did my program and I shared this with her. And this means to me, what I got from my wiser elder self was, it's about the way you love yourself. So every time I'm struggling, every time I have a challenge or I have a difficult conversation that I have to go through, whatever is happening in my life, this is my symbol. This is what reminds me that it's all about the way I love myself. And how I love myself. Well, if I'm going to have a difficult conversation, I'm going to be ready I'm going to be calm. I'm going to cultivate empathy. I'll be patient, right? Because that's the way I believe I'm loving myself. I'm being ready. I'm not going to expose myself to unnecessary stress. Or like in my rejuvenation process, many of you know me. I'm into the natural rejuvenation. What can we do to prevent our aging going so fast? So what do I do in terms of that? Well, it's about how I love myself, how I eat, how I appreciate, how I show gratitude. So many examples that I can share, but it's at the end the attitude, the things that I do, the way I do things, keeping, okay, I'm doing this because I love myself first. So I think that basically summarized my approach, and I wish to all of you and all of the women watching this, um, watching us today, a beautiful International Women's Day today and every day, not just today, every single day. Love yourself and show to the world with that love, because that's powerful and that's what makes this world beautiful. It's because of us, and you're not alone. We're here for each other. And before I end, this is my way that I'm loving myself today, being with you, this supporting group, and sharing our thoughts here in this sisterhood that we have today. So thank you. And I'll move to Patrice now.
All right. Well, thank you. This is so beautiful, and much has been said here that I definitely echo, and what would I would like to add to as I was listening to everyone and thinking of women, like I'm a pretty health conscious person, and there's been different experiences in my life that's really made me appreciate my health and had me take care of it and value it. And knowing that the roles or the positions as women, and I know like there's talk of breaking the roles, and but still I'm a mother, I'm a grandmother. I worked with young kids for years, and in a position when you can see that potential in the kids and nurture it and watch them blossom. And it was at these times when you have like dependents or uh, people that you're caring, like it's really clear you need to take care of yourself. You need to be uh, taking all these tips with, the 8 pillars of health, and ensuring that you can be there for your children, or the even like the children I was working with, and as a grandmother, I want to be there and share with my grandchild, and hopefully pass on some wisdom, and it's like your different roles, and um if you in yourself are living a very fulfilling life, and true to yourself, uh, taking care of yourself, loving yourself, then that's what you can emulate, and that can, it's like you're a role model, or something for future generations. They'll look on, they look to their elders, to the parents, and for the path forward. And so it's really, and I, with that too, like I found like part of the in our self-care and journey, that importance of finding support. And I've really been appreciating, I belong to different women's circles, and just the support that you find from from the women, and that it lets you speak more from the heart, shall I say, and um, let yourself shine more and bring that forward. So I there was so much said before, but I just wanted to emphasize that, you know, that when you hear that your voice calling, that, yeah, like, take care of yourself, make sure that you're taking care of the whole self, the physical, the mental, the emotional, the spiritual, and live to your fullest life and be that role model for the next generations.
Well, I thank everyone for coming to this Women's Empowerment Day. And I really want to say that I am bringing forth the idea that women understand the earth in a very particular way. We connect with the earth. And in the last half century, with all the technology and everything like that, many women have gotten away from that. So I'm showing up as a very happy bunch of black-eyed Susans today. And I want to suggest that I have been using flowers to empower myself every single day. They're not only beautiful, they're actually good for you. Now, this particular flower, you could have an allergic reaction to, but I eat it quite often. I use it for tea. I mostly eat the petals, and I want to suggest that women can understand the earth is abundant. We don't need to live in scarcity. We can together bring forth a new understanding, a new paradigm that doesn't have to be extractive because the earth is naturally abundant. I put in a plant and I get so many seeds out of this one clump of black-eyed Susans. I got like 1,000 seeds. It's absolutely amazing. So I'm going to give some very practical tips because I'm a practical person. I want you, if you're not doing it already, go outside for 15 minutes a day, right? I like to meet the dawn because the dawn light empowers you in a different way. But you don't have to do that. You can enjoy the sunset. You can enjoy midday, whatever. I'm also going to suggest that you have a lot of color in your diet. And you eat from the sea, you eat from the land, you add fruits and vegetables into what you're doing, and you learn how to feed the people around you. Everyone else has talked so much about reducing your stress, connecting, but I'm saying the Natural Health Collaborative really wants to bring forth that you can have a natural lifestyle. It doesn't have to be complicated. You can grow anywhere. And if you're going to pick any year to do it, start doing it now. The structures of society are stressed. And as always, women can bring forth not only life in their own bodies, but life from around them. So you can grow in a basement under lights, right? You can grow mushrooms in a closet. You don't need necessary special skills to sprout seeds. But when we're talking about the change in society, women are the ones that are going to take the reins to take care of their families and communities. And I'm excited that we can bring forth the earth and really replenish it, nourishing ourselves so that we can all flourish together. Thank you. And it's great to be on this planet with this opportunity now.
Thank you, Cindy. That was really inspiring. As I was looking at the yellow flowers, and Terry said in the comments that it was her paternal grandmother's favorite flowers. I think that it humbles me that Earth does not ask you anything in return, and it gives you so much. And we have so many things to learn from nature. Anyone? Any other comments or ideas?
Well, it's interesting because we call it Mother Nature. And today is being International Women's Day. It was so awesome. I'm like, oh, isn't that beautiful? Mother Nature is, yeah, and Mother Nature is where the love is. That's where the magic is, right? So anyway, just afterthought.
Thank you, Terry. I love that. The Pachamama, we call that in South America. The Pachamama is the Mother Earth.
Mother, yeah.
Right. So we have Zelda. She needs to go. Maggie, go ahead.
I had one more idea to share as I was listening to everybody's beautiful shares is the idea of this mitochondria. So we're talking about health. And I know Maricel, you're going to get all excited thinking about mitochondria, the mighty mitochondria, the little tiny organelles in our cells that really help to grow the energy we have for how we show up. But if you look at it, ancient cultures have known that women are chaperones of the memory and also other emotions that come from family to family, and it's only passed on from the maternal genes. So truly, on this day of International Women's, it's an idea of reflecting the concept of dharma in yoga philosophy, the concept of what is our purpose and our duty. And as women, biologically, the internal organelles of our cells tell us we are the carriers of memory, of our culture, of our heritage. And even more so now, lifestyle medicine and behavioral science are saying that what we do, how we treat our body and our mind and our emotions right now are being imprinted. And so we are carrying this forward. So if we can look at how we can empower ourselves and the future generations by utilizing the tools that nature is embedding within us, for me, it gives me a higher sense of not only purpose, but reason for showing up as my best self and working collaboratively with everyone here.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much, Maggie. Yes, I was all excited because, recent studies are showing exactly that, the way the pregnant mom chooses, that during those 9 months, her lifestyle affects the baby, and the baby will carry epigenetically for up to 4 generations later what the mom went through during those 9 months compared to what the dad went through. No, right? So it's even more responsibility to keep empowering women and support the women, the young generation, so that they understand the value of self-care, and they put all the effort, all the energy in, especially during those times, as they are basically forming, creating, developing the next generations to come. Okay, I don't see hands up. Let's see, gallery. Okay, I will invite, if you have any other additional comments, just go ahead and unmute yourself. Okay, we're good. Cindy, is there any other thing you would like to say before we wrap it up?
No, I think that we have said it all from lots of different perspectives, and lots of different perspectives are going to make this time of upset and crisis into an opportunity. So I want each of us to take responsibility for not only ourselves, but for all the people that are in their lives, and empower them, whether male or female, because we're all in this together.
Thank you so much, everybody. We'll stop the recording here.
The recording has stopped.
And I will upload this video to our shared drive, so each one of us can share this in our social media or the way you want to use it. Cindy, do you have any special instructions or something else about this? It was planned to be live, but we couldn't figure out the whole process, right?
It glitched. I don't know if it has anything to do with my camera, but I have a brand new computer and whatever. But the important thing is, I think a lot of us made incredible sense.
Yeah.
And this information has to get out. So you can just, take the video, take your section out, put it up on your social media. And, the faster we do this, the better it is, because it is International Women's Day today.
We're gonna post this in the YouTube video of our group, right? So it's gonna be there. Mm-hmm.
Right. So it'll be in the video, and it also be, you said, in the shared drive.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can use it in any way that you want.
We can put the link in the WhatsApp group. Is everybody here in the WhatsApp group?
I'm not. I can't get into WhatsApp.
Oh, okay.
But I am
in the LinkedIn group, right?
Yeah, we can post it in the LinkedIn group.
Yeah, that works good.
Okay. Everybody's there. Okay, great. Let's do that then. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Great day.
Bye-bye.